Good morning, Glory. We had a wonderful evening staying at the kibbutz on the south side of the Sea of Galilee. The food was great, the rooms were great, and some people took a dip in the lake. Right now we're waiting for our boat ride to take us out in the sea to see if there's a storm brewing. But in the meantime, let me just read from Matthew 8, and it goes something like this. And when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him, and behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, and so that the boat was swamped with waves, but he was asleep. And they went and woke him up, saying, Save us, Lord, we are perishing. And he said to them, Why are you so afraid, O men of little faith? Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, saying, What sort of man is this, that even the winds obey him? Up till now, Christ had demonstrated that he was the Messiah. He healed the lame, cured the blind, even raised the dead. The widow at Nain's son, Lazarus, and even himself. He cast out demons to show that he was Lord over the demonic and over Satan. But calming the storm was something even more important. It showed that he had dominion over nature and the nature gods. Remember when we discussed the gods of the Baals and the fertility cults? In order for the people to get the rains to rain and the crops to bloom, they thought to manipulate the gods so that they would bring the rain and show the fertility. In this case, Jesus showed he was the Lord of nature. Now I've skipped just a little bit ahead into Matthew 14, and it says in this 22nd verse, And then he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. And after that he dismissed the crowds, he went up to a mountain to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat by this time was many furlongs distant from land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night he came to them, walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified, saying, It is a ghost. And they cried out in fear. But immediately he spoke to them, saying, Take heart, it is I have no fear. And then Peter said, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come to you in the water. And he said, Come. So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, and saying, O man of little faith, why did you doubt? And when they got out into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshipped him, saying, Truly, you are the Son of God. I think what the Lord is trying to say here in this case, as we're loading the boat right now, is that he wants us to have faith. And even though the circumstances don't seem to be going our way, we need to trust in his promises, that he's with us always, even to the end of the world. Cast all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. It's easy to say and difficult to do. Even in this case, when Peter was walking on the sea, for a time, he was okay. But when he took his eyes off of Jesus, he started to sink. And the Lord then rescued him. And so I think what that is saying to us today is that when we keep our eyes on the Lord, we're going to be able to walk on the difficult circumstances of the seas of life. But when we take our eyes off of him, it looks like we're going to sink. But he's still there to rescue us. Even if our head bobs under, he's still there to rescue us.